What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Mr. Mooman11 here, bringing you a Xin Zhao jungle guide. Xin is one of those champs that you can play and you'll just start winning games, man. This dude's so alpha, it's like Channing Tatum mated with a shirtless Putin riding a bear, and then they pooped out a kid with a pointy stick who decided to change his ethnicity to some sort of Asian variety and just started taking names and kicking butts. This dude's got sustain, he's got damage, he's got a gap close, everything you could ever want in a man, Xin's packing it. And yes, ladies, he's single. Team fights? No problem. He'll just wave his massive stick around. Put this bro in a 1v1 and he'll be yelling, "It's time to do." For runes, we give him a dash of armor yellows, a sprinkle of attack damage reds, a pinch of attack speed blues, and just kinda eyeball some quints like lethality, lifesteal, and MR. Masteries are going to be a simple 18-0-12, with the keystone being fervor of battle for that extra AD. Now when you're locking in this champ in the pregame lobby, make sure you're man enough to handle such a beast in the streets and a gift on the rift. Or, you know, at least woman enough. Or hell, even attack helicopter enough, since I know half my audience, myself included, sexually identifies as a Boeing AH-64 Apache twin turboshaft attack helicopter with a 30mm M230 chain gun downstairs, an impressive arsenal of AGM-114 Hellfire missiles and Hydra 70 rocket pods capable of delivering your massive payload from over a mile away or even across the bedroom. But I digress. When you're all ready to go, start at blue with or without a friend. I mean, you don't really even need a leash, cause Xin ain't no pansy who needs some punk's help, but, I mean, you'll take it if you can get it, am I right? You'll have wanted to start off with your Q to get an auto attack reset early on, as well as a handy little knockup after 3 hits. Next, unlock your W and start attacking Gromp. Notice the starting items he grabbed: a hunter's machete, a warding trinket, and only 1 health pot this time. You don't need to buy more because your W and your quints give you enough lifesteal that the one you did buy is like that dude from the Safe Auto commercials. Just in case. Safe Auto can protect your vehicle by providing the state minimum insurance coverage, but they don't offer any pet insurance. For that reason, you'll have to clear out the wolf camp fast before your neighbor notices you beating up their prized pets and calls the cops on you, where you'll definitely be sent to jail on 3 counts of wolf slaughter. To ensure a fast clear, remember that you will critically strike 100% of the time on your 3rd auto, so try to remember to save these bigger hits for the mama wolf while you mercilessly stab your spear into the baby pups. Now don't get me wrong, these murders will haunt you for the rest of your life, but you're already in too deep, so head over to Farmer John's place and continue to prove your manhood by spearing up some kebabs at the chicken camp. After you cook up the mega chicken and you're busy tenderizing the rest of the chicks, or giving your meat a good old rub as some people call it, take a moment to gaze across your grand kingdom like a young Simba. From the mid lane minions to the bot lane bushes, all of this will one day be yours to rule. But with great power comes great responsibility, and that means protecting all the small little creatures under your dominion, like these weak little bot laners in the eyes of the hungry evil Ivern. It's time to assert your dominance. Time to prove that you truly are the alpha amongst all these beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, nu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, to upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omegas. And just like that, in the time it takes you to spat off the entire Greek alphabet, you've got yourself first blood and earned the right to flash your tier 7 mastery in the face of the enemy team as you tactically abandon your bot laners because you're sick and tired of Tom Kench typing lick, lick, lick into the chat every single time he sexually assaults Lulu with his tongue. And would you look at that, even after a bot lane engage and almost complete sweep of your first jungle clear, you still haven't had to use your health pot yet. What I tell you, my fellow attack helicopters, is this dude alpha or what? Now last on your to-do list before you back is to make like popcorn and pop on over to the Krugs. After showing these rock-hard Russian nesting dolls that your Asian spear is surprisingly more powerful than they are, recall to go back to your dojo and request from Master either a Skirmisher's Saber if they've got some tanks or powerful duelists, or a Stalker's Blade if they've got some squishies with a lot of disengage. Either way, work on completing the Blood Razor enchantment by buying a couple daggers as well. On your way back to the topside jungle, replace your eyeballs with oranges so you can keep your eyes peeled on any fights currently going on. If your top laner is super low and theirs is as well, you'll know the enemy jungler or mid laner is going to want to make a repeat visit. So stick around and munch on some frog legs while you wait for some action to happen. If it never comes, switch your attention to another lane and do the same thing while munching on some, I guess, wolf legs? I don't know. If you can't make it in time because of your greed in the jungle, no worries. Reward yourself for efficiently clearing your jungle by also efficiently clearing the mid lane minions, cause, I mean, after all, the turrets aren't going to spend their creep gold on anything anyway. After that, head back into the jungle where you'll pick up a little bit more gold and give a shout out to one of your Moo crew members who was so kind to wish us good luck. Thanks, Jubby, I appreciate it. Then it's back to Panda Express to finish off your jungle item and get a plate of orange chicken and Beijing beef with a side of fried rice. And if you completed the survey on the bottom of the receipt for an additional entree, you can get a boneless pizza with a 2-liter of Coke. Then feel free to wander around your jungle for a bit more, taking in the scenery and making sure not to ever share your blue buff with your mid laner, ever. And of course, look for any potential ganks. If your bot laners are pushed up like boobs in a training bra, sneak into that bot lane bush and take a magical froggy ride into the complete opposite direction of your ADC and the enemies, forcing your Vayne to flash, but ultimately leading to some free kills and some sweet first turret gold for your team, and more specifically, you. And now that you're raking in more money than a Japanese Yakuza, head back to your Syndicate's HQ to pick up some boots and start working on a Blade of the Ruined King. For boots, you've got a wide array of choices, like when you go to those Asian restaurants that have so many things on the menu that they start putting numbers on them, so instead of asking for a combination chicken and shrimp poo-poo platter medium spicy with extra sauce, you can order a number 673. So for boots, you can pick up some Ninja Tabbies if their whole team is AD like I did, or you can go Merc Treads for AP heavy team, Swifties if you want to go fast, Berserker Screeves for more attack speed. You've really got a lot of options, just pick what's best to counter the enemy team's strong points. And once you've picked, it's time for more ganks, and maybe even some more objectives. Or why not combine the two and gank the objectives, to get revenge on the enemy team for murdering your poor helpless friend Scuttle. After enacting your deadly plot of revenge, take a free dragon for your troubles and then get in some counter jungling too, in loving memory of Scuttle. Now, the enemy team probably isn't going to like this too much, so in fights with multiple enemies, it's important to focus the enemy ADCs to force them out and maybe burn a summoner or two. This will leave their teammates vulnerable, dead, and allow your team to group up and chunk down some turrets. With you at the tip of the spear, puns, the enemy team will be so frightened they'll have to keep backing away after y'all take objective after objective. And speaking of objectives, you're strong enough now to easily solo Mega Scuttle, so after some friendly BM by flashing your mastery again and stealing the red buff, drop on in for tea time with old Mega. Now you'll probably still be in the process of selecting which tea you want when the enemy jungler will try to crash your little get together, so it's probably best to back off a little bit. But make sure to reschedule a new tea time with Mega and stick around in case the entire enemy team shows up and tries to boss and tea party your little date. Now this may have worked against the British, but you're a full-blown Asian dude with a pointy stick. Y'all literally invented leaf water. I mean tea. So once again, go full beast mode on that enemy team and take down a tower to let them know you mean business. Then of course it's back to Mega Scuttle, and please do apologize for being late. Go ahead and recall now while you introduce your friend Darius to your even better friend Scuttle, cause Scuttle wins games. Once you're back, finish off your core items by completing your Blade of the Ruined King. Now, it's kind of fitting that you're going for a full offensive kamikaze build, but I think it's probably time for some defensive item purchases as well. Your final build should include the core of a Stalker's Blade or Skirmisher Saber, any reasonable boot pick as long as you choose one. I don't want to see people wandering around with 6 different boots complaining about how my man said I could pick all the boots, because I could totally see some of y'all doing that. And the last of the core, a Bork. The fourth item should most likely be defensive, so pick up something like a Dead Man's Plate for some armored zooms, a Thornmail for that spiky samurai aesthetic, or a Spirit Visage for some magic-resistant healing. Your last item should reflect how the game is progressing. Maybe you need some more move speed and want to attack faster. Treat yourself to a nice little Phantom Dancer. Maybe you want more AD, but they've got a Fed Mage mid laner. Grab a Maw Malmortius instead. And if lethality is still completely broken by the time you're watching this video, just pick up 6 Dusk Blades, then sell your Warning Trinket and passive slots for another couple of Dusk Blades. You can never have too many. Like with the boots, you've got a lot of choices to build on Xin. Just pick up items that match how the game is progressing. If that means you need to buy an Ohm Wrecker, bust that bad boy out. I'm not going to judge you if it wins you the game. Now that you got some more items, and the fact that you're wandering around in a pack, you can easily counter jungle to keep that enemy Ivern behind. Keep a watch out for when the dragon is about to spawn, cause League is a game of seconds. Every moment counts, and you want to get the big objective secured as soon as... Oh, okay. Well, I guess a quick detour can't hurt that much. When you can, start the dragon and avoid getting knocked back. And of course there's the enemy team. Come on, Tom, we could already have this dragon in our pockets. You know what? It's fine, just keep attacking the dragon and let them take care of the enemies. Of course, you'll have to go help because you're carrying this troll team on your back. So just kill the ADC and go finish off the support since you got her so... okay. Alright. Well, you can't bench the Kinch, I guess. Now by this point, you've probably had enough of Tom's shenanigans, so ending soon would be in your best interest before, I don't know, he tries munching you up and spitting you out into the enemy fountain, because that honestly seems like something he'd do. Xin's got fantastic split push potential, and often requires more than one enemy champ to come deal with him. But if they're so afraid of you they don't even come, you can get even more damage done by pushing further and further up the lane uncontested. But we all know you're a charismatic individual, and your teammates will naturally be drawn to your masculinity and aura of power, completely defeating the purpose of a split push. So just recall and work on whatever items you've got left to complete and go head back into battle. Like usual in team fights, your priority is that enemy ADC, so initiate on him and they'll be out of the fight in an instant. And whoa, what's this? Your Tom is actually doing his job by soaking up damage for once? Nah, don't help him. This one's for you. Sit back and watch his health bar slowly tick down until he dies, then flash in for style points and take down your second target, then your third. And with that, all you've got left to clean up is the slowest champ in the game. And with a quick performance of the Hokey Pokey, you've aced the whole team. Now just for some extra demoralization, go grab that Ivern's blue buff yet again, then go visit Scuttle in person this time. He'll be happy to see you again, but you don't notice his wife Sandra with him. With sadness in his voice, he informs you that while on a business trip in Chicago last week, she was involved in an accident while walking down a dark alley at night in a bad part of town. Someone came up from behind her with a knife. Police say her dress was completely stained blood red. Now fortunately, the person behind her was a knife salesman and just startled Sandra when he asked if she wanted to buy any kitchen utensils, and she accidentally spilled a bottle of red wine all over her blouse. And Scuttle's good friend Ricardo, a cop, was with her and told him all about it on the phone that night while laughing. She's totally fine, just out getting groceries right now. Anywho, after wishing Scuttle a good day, your team should be back up and ready to go. In fact, Tom Kench is so ready to go, he'll eat you up without your consent. But your training in the Vietnam jungles means you can adapt to any situation, and you turn this one into a free kill. Follow it up with an exciting chase scene like it's straight out of the next Fast and Furious, then team up to take down the Baron. And just to give the enemies a glimmer of hope, a shining star in the distance, completely ignore that inhibitor that's been open for like a solid 5 minutes, and instead go secure another dragon for your team just for funsies. But now I will admit it's probably time to end the game. So after picking up some more items, group up and present your one-way ticket to Tom Kench for the pain train. At 1,000 movement speed with a flash and a gap close, they won't even know what hit them. And at this point, you've already won the game, so just run around the base causing death and destruction. And I guess now would be a fine time to take down that inhibitor finally. Have Tom validate your ticket one more time for a straight shot to Varusville. Population, 0. Then you can finish off the last turn. Oh my god, there he goes! What did I tell you? Straight to the fountain. But it doesn't matter, you've got the victory. And the next time the enemy team plays against you, they'll say, "Oh no, not Xin. I know he's gonna win." Well, there you have it. There's your Xin Zhao Jungle Guide.